Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. We've got a triple header for you today. 3 replays all involving the T40, the Tier 4 American tank destroyer based on the M3 Lee. Well, this one is on the southwest spawn of Glacier, and all of the battles are under the command of ProvoBob. So he's going to be having a few bots to contend with. Now, as you know, with the 10.04 updates, no engine sound for the first minute of the game. Yep, I'm afraid they did screw that one up quite badly. The T40, which was originally built off the hull of an M3 with the turret removed, actually normally had an M3 gun, M3, and a 3-inch M1918 howitzer is its main armament. But originally it was rejected because it wasn't fast enough and it wasn't as manoeuvrable. But after the Pearl Harbor attack, they decided they did need a tank destroyer, a proper tank destroyer, because all of their tank destroyers up until then were actually made from trucks and other vehicles. So they came up with this tank destroyer, and it's basically this one is armed with the 75mm gun, 76mm, sorry, 115 alpha with penetration of 128mm. As I said, the normal T40 actually had a 3-inch howitzer as its main armament, but they actually cancelled the order for 1,000 of these because they didn't have enough of the 3-inch howitzer to arm these vehicles, and they found that not quite as powerful as they needed to be. Low roll for the first shot, an average roll for the second, and he's tracked him. Good shot. One more to kill, and he's got his first kill. Now, there are bots in this game. I've just put up the names so you can see the vast majority of the enemy is actually bots. There was one live player that was just killed. That was in the M8A1 Scott. But as you can see, most of the others remaining enemy players are bots. But bots can be very difficult to kill sometimes. Okay, we've got a couple of tanks down there. I think one of them's a bot. In fact, both of them are bots, sorry. The Type 91 and the Panzer 3J. So he's trying to get a solution on them. Of course, whilst he's doing this, somebody might be just around the corner about to attack him, so he does need to be careful. He's inching his way round. The trouble with the T40, which actually was commissioned into the service as the M9, just to make it even more confusing, is that it's actually fairly wide, and therefore trying to go around corners is a bit difficult. Oh, he got a kill with his second shot! T29 comes into sight. No, is that a bot? No, that's a real player. It's an AMX-38 down there. That's a bot. The Stuart, that's a bot as well. Okay, he's decided to move to get a better angle on them. Oh, Type 91's come back into sight. Now that's definitely a bot. Oh, missed it with the first shot. He's stationary. Yeah, so we got an ammo rack. He blew the thing to pieces. So he's got a demolition expert medal. Yeah, needs to change position if he's going to get shots on those guys. He needs to be further around the corner, but he might run into somebody as he's going round here. There is one dangerous player on the enemy team in a Panzer V2, but he was last seen over on the west side of the map, and he's probably headed for our cap area right now. Okay, we've got a Striv M40L down there. That's a live player, a real player. Striv M40L, which I think, if I remember correctly, is a premium tank, light tank. It's the one that Wargaming gave out for free, hoping that people would then choose to go up the Swedish line. I think that rock is actually blocking our shot at the moment, so he might need to move a bit further around towards the cap area. The scores are even at the moment, but it's a reduced numbers game, so there's only 5 more players left on either side. And that's a target he can destroy. The Type 91 is a bot. Nice hit. High roll. No, didn't get that one in. Where did the shell go? That's better. And one more to go. Oh, he got a fire. And it did die, but it died to the shot, so he missed out on an arsonist. He might have got an arsonist. Oh, he did get an arsonist. They have awarded it to him late. I thought for a second that he died to the shot rather than the fire. There's the live player, the Striv. Yeah. Oh, he pulls back into cover quickly, but is it too quick or too little? Too little, I think. He's firing this way, but an accurate shot takes him out. And that means now there's only 3 tanks left on the enemy team. One of them's a bot, the AMX-38. That's the guy out the centre. The T29 and the Panzer V2 have actually returned back to their own cap. There's somewhere off just there in the distance. Our Panzer II-G's making a run on the cap, and that's a live player. He's going back up onto the edge. No, that's the edge of the map. That's it. That's the wrong way to go. Now, surprising is that the Panzer II-G has managed to get into the cap and nobody's interfering with him yet. Now, the Panzer V2, which might turn up, is the German version of the French Char B1 with extra armour, but it's basically the same tank, just missing the 76mm gun that they put in the hull, 75mm gun they put in the hull. And I think he's going to go to the edge here of the corner so that he can await the arrival of the enemy. They're more than likely going to turn up now. They'll need to turn up quickly if they're going to get Defender Medal. Potentially he's got a high caliber already. He's earned enough to get 20%, and here comes the enemy. There's the Panzer V2. He got a reset. He fired at the Panzer II-G and got a hit. But you can see that ProvoBob is putting nice shells into the turret, which is a weak spot. There's also a T29 just a short distance away. It might be a good idea for him to actually go over and kill those guys. In fact, actually he just bounced around from the AMX-38, which is a bot, if you remember. So he's gone right to the edge of the cap. Oh, took a round from the Panzer V2. Put one into his turret. Go for the next one. Kill the Panzer. Oh, he missed him. Ricocheted off the top of the turret. And the Panzer V2 pulled back. Here comes the T29. Takes him out with one shot. So that's his top gun. Now, can he kill this Panzer V2? No, missed him with the first one. Get behind the wreck. That's it. Good. Now you've got some cover. Still putting another round in. No, went over the top. It's very difficult to get accurate shots. Oh, that's better. And of course we know that the AMX-38 is a bot. Now the question is he going to sit in the cap and get an invader medal, or is he going to go hunt that that AMX-38 down? I think he's actually pushing the wreck in front of him as a bit of cover, and he's just going to wait for that guy to come to him. No, go for the kill. Much nicer that way. There he is. Use the wreck for cover. The guy's not even looking this way. That's, I'm afraid, some bots don't. Unless you fire at them, then they look at you. And he's going to have problems with gun depression now a bit. Get the round in. Try and track the guy if you can. He stopped. Shoot through that gap. No, you might actually hit the drive wheel instead. He's trying to get shots through, he's not, but he's bouncing rounds from the AMX. So he's going the other side, lines it up. That's good. One more shot to kill, win the game. Yes! Took a shot from the AMX-38, but he's won the game. So let's move to the very next one in our sequence. The second battle in this trio of replays is on North Spawn of Mines. Same T40. Same player. Let's see how he gets on. Well, as before, no engine noise for the first minute or so, because Wargame screwed up. Yes, they did an update and took away the sound. I'm not sure why that happened, but it's certainly very odd. Now you can see from this position here, just slightly below the rise, you actually can, with the gun depression, get shots on the centre without the vehicle being exposed. One of the big problems for the T40, and the reason why it wasn't accepted by the American forces, was because it was so big, it was very easy to spot for the enemy. But with the hold down position, oh, he was a little late with the shot there. The moment he saw the turret appeared, he should have got ready to fire straight away, because you need a little time for the shell to reach the target. Now, as before, there are bots in this game. Let's see if he gets the shot in the M5 right. That's better, but just missed him. The T6 medium appears to be just around that corner, taking pot shots at the Type 91. He's taken some damage already. The M5 Stuart's gone into the castle grounds. There's a Panzer IIIe over there. Now he's moved up slightly to get a shot, and he has got a shot on that guy, but only the top of the turret. So it's a pixel shot for the cupola. Yeah, the guy's pulled back into cover now. Oh, there he is, just the cupola again. Okay, and the enemy M5A1 Stuart's come around the corner. He's now in the little village, but he's behind the buildings, so we're not going to get any shots on him just yet. I know it could be a temptation to shoot in some of these directions. That's a destructible building, so yes, it was worthwhile shooting at that one, because you will get at him eventually once you've knocked down the buildings. No, just a little too high. No, a little too late. And now he's behind hard buildings which he can't demolish. No, he's just wasting ammo now, I'm afraid. But he does have plenty of shots available. It is, after all, 76mm gun, and it will do, well, if I get that right, it will do 115 alpha and penetrate 128mm with standard ammo. With the APCR, it goes up to 177mm. There won't be many Tier 4 tanks that he cannot penetrate. He is a Tier 4 American TD. And this was one of the first TDs that the Americans, well, they built the test models, and T40 was the designation of the test model after it had actually been tested and rejected the first time. It was the second version. When they actually went ahead and built them or placed the order, it was to be known as the M9 tank destroyer, but, well, they cancelled the order a few months after they placed it. And at the time, they were actually building many, many M3s, and this was going to be built on the M3 production line. So it was a fairly easy job for them to cancel the order, because, after all, they had plenty of M3s to build, a lot of which were being supplied to Britain, who had dire need of them. Okay, nice target there. Stug 3B came in... a 3B came into sight. Now, he was seen because he poked up, and that was one of the problems, as I said. These things were fairly easy to spot, and that's why eventually they decided against building them. That and the mobility and the speed. The maneuverability, rather, and the speed. Nice pixel shot right into the top of the roof of the 3B. Gets another one in, but he needs to pull back. That's the 75mm gun on that tank. Not the derp gun. At least I don't think it's the derp gun. You better hope it's not the derp gun. It is the derp gun. He just took a hit for 353. I thought that was the 75mm and I misidentified it. It was the 105mm derp gun. And so he's taken a massive hit right in the front of the vehicle. Can't see where the shot went. Oh, is it that hole? Looks like it hit the gun shield. Type 91 is a bot. The Stug 3B, by the way, that was a real player. Obviously. I'm still waiting for the engine noise to come back. Oh, love seeing Arty rounds arc through the sky like that. So we don't get to see that. Oh, we got the engine noise. Okay, we don't really get to see the shells as they arc through one side of the sky to the other. It does look rather spectacular as they do. Of course, if you use the shell camera, it can look even better as you shoot from one side of the battlefield to the other. Oh, he's got 2 targets to fire at, and both of them are bots. Gets around into the B1. Yeah, this guy hasn't got any sense at all. This is a bad bot. But if he can get around in to track this guy, he might be able to get the kill now. Yes, he got the kill. Now, Type 91s, the pair of them, both are bots. Both got no more sense than, well, anything that's got no sense. Rabbit in the headlights, that's what I'd say. Rabbit in the headlights. An Australian would know what rabbit in the headlights means. It's funny actually I mentioned that because my father had an interesting story when he went to Australia. My father, actually I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but my father used to be a captain in the Merchant Navy, and so was his father before him. And the father ahead of him, my great-grandfather, was actually someone connected at Lloyd's. But my father once took his ship to Australia, and obviously ProvoBob's Australian, as you know, because he's got a kangaroo on the side of his vehicles. Well, one of the Aussies suggested that my dad go out hunting with the rest of the troop, rest of the buddies, and so they could have a barbie out in the wilds and just have a bit of fun. Well, when they got out into the outback, they lined up all the vehicles so they were all facing each other, so in a big circle with the headlights on, and then everybody pulled out of the circle and went and stood in the woods nearby. And what happened? Well, this was late at night, and of course, you know, they waited for the rabbits to appear, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all these rabbits came running in, and they all sat inside the circle of the headlights, chewing on the grass and generally enjoying themselves. And then one of the Aussies said, okay, now we go in. And they all went in. And the rabbits, the moment they saw all the people, started running for their lives. And they come flying out from the circle of the cars towards the humans. And of course, the humans were just grabbing the rabbits as they went. And they were getting handfuls of them. They were literally, the rabbits were literally leaping into the arms of all the people. And of course, they were wringing their necks immediately and then putting them on the vehicles so that they could then put them in the freezer later on. But he said it was very amusing because all these rabbits didn't have any sense at all. And so they literally captured them with their hands. Didn't have to shoot them, they just wrung their necks and took home just a huge amount of rabbits, because Australia is infested with rabbits, I'm afraid. Of course, he also came home with a lovely set of moccasins for my sisters. That's the Top Gun. Now, the Valentine tank is a bot, and he's gone. There's only 3 enemies left. ProvoBob's now got 7 kills. Can he make it 8? Nice shot on the M5, who's moving quite quickly. Oh, that was a little too far forward. The guy's turning around and running back. Now, he was seen, but I don't think he needs to worry. That M5 is a bot. Oh, a little too high over the top of him. Can he get another shot? Oh! It just drove straight back through the field of fire. He's only got 3 hit points left. No, he's just going to sit behind that building now. Yes, as I was saying, my father came back with rabbit skin moccasins for my sisters, and they absolutely adored them. Very soft fur on those moccasins. Now, I have actually eaten rabbit quite a lot myself. I quite enjoy it. It's people say it's a very what's it? Not gamey meat, but it doesn't have any substance to it. And of course, you do have to. You can't eat rabbit meat alone. You need to eat vegetables. Oh, there's the M5. Yes, got him. 8 kills. Yeah, you do have to eat some vegetables as well, because otherwise you'll get no nourishment from just eating rabbit meat alone. In fact, quite a few people who've actually been abandoned on desert islands where there are rabbits, if they eat nothing but rabbit meat all the time, they will die because you'll lack the vitamins you need to survive. Because as they say, it's a nothing meat. It gives you protein, but it just doesn't give you any of the vitamins you need. And eventually you'll deplete all of those and die. But rabbit meat's actually really nice. If you have a rabbit stew, that's very, very tasty indeed. And there's many a time I've gone to Cornwall and you get Cornish rabbits. That's an Arty. He's just fired in our direction. That's a live player. One more. Yes! 9 kills. Our own Bison tried to kill him, but it was just a little too late. If he can get the last kill, which is a Valentine anti-tank, and that's a real player, then he'll have 10 kills, but he won't get a Pools medal. Simply because you can't get a Pools medal at tier 4. So it's a bit sad really that you can't get these medals, but I suppose it's because it's so easy sometimes for the right tank to get this number of kills. Well, the Valentine tank was seen over in that direction. I think he's behind that house, I'm pretty sure. The thing about the Valentine anti-tank is basically it's a Valentine tank with the turret taken off, a fairly big gun, a 6-inch, and a gun shield. And of course the gun shield's the weak spot. Aim for the gun shield, you'll take out the crew that's behind it. It would be nice if ProvoBob could get that last kill. But he is low on hit points, and if he does expose himself, then... Oh, he can do it! Come on. Oh. How did he manage to get up there? Yes! 10 kills in a T40, and he's won the game. So, let's look at the third replay. And here we are on the third replay, and this time we're on the north spawn of Redshire. Same vehicles, same player. Okay, game started. Now he's made no changes to the vehicle, still got the 76mm gun, and it's still got that 115 Alpha with 128mm penetration with the standard AP, and 177 with the APCR. And also 185 Alpha with the HE rounds, which he hasn't used as yet. And of course, in tier 4 battles, he probably would be able to take out most of these vehicles and get a penetrating shot, even with the HE, because it will go through 38mm of armour. And a lot of these tanks, that's about all they have, that or slightly less. Now, he's gone up onto the top of the hill to start with. And of course, remember, this vehicle... fairly easy to spot because it's so tall, so not a great place to go up here, but there's plenty of bushes that he can hide behind. One of the enemy tanks has made a quick run through the castle, and he's now sitting on that corner. Now if he goes over just to the far side of that those gates, he might be able to peek in this direction and see who's up on the hill, and then his teammates might start firing in this direction. It's a tier 4 battle, he's a tier 4 tank destroyer. Okay, there are some enemy in sight as well. Chiha, that's on the hill opposite this one. No shot, he's below the ridgeline. And some more enemy turned up, and in fact, what he doesn't realise is there's an actual enemy poking through the gate right now. Yep, it's that T6 medium. In fact, there's a number of enemy tanks actually inside the castle. His first shot actually hits the T6 medium, penned him. Can just see him through that gap. Oh, good shot! Right through that narrow gap. And he might be able to hit that BT. Yep, tracked him. And the next one penned him. Oh, he's being pushed through. Is he? Yeah, he's being pushed through by his teammates in the T6 medium. I don't think that was a voluntary push. And now the T6 is about to get wiped out, and he deserves to get wiped out because that was a nasty thing to do to your teammate. Yes, good shot. Right into the rear of the guy just as he was turning the corner. Okay, we've got a Valentine tank just the other side. Now, he doesn't want to go around the corner to the right, because if he is, he'll be spotted straight away. But the Valentine is just around that corner. The gun is lined up where he was last seen, but he can't see it at the moment because he's gone unspotted. I think he's actually just down there in the dip behind the bushes. Is there a bush down there? I think there might be. No, he's just out of sight, that's all. He's blind firing. Not getting any joy out of it, though. Ah, there's the Valentine again. Come on. Go for it. Yes, got the engine bay. With a 76mm, he should go through it, even if he hits the hard armour. And he's got another kill. B1. Now that is a bot. Can't see it though. We need somebody to spot for us over there. Matilda. Now the Matilda is a real player, but he's lost track of him, lost sight of him. That one dropped. He's guessing now. I'm not sure though, but I think that actually did hit the target, because it appeared that there was no reaction when it hit the vehicle, the dead wreck. Ah, now that's a priority target there. That's the FCM 36 Pak 40. That's a deadly premium tank destroyer. But he's actually going to go after the Chiha. Looks like the Pak 40 is the other side of the hill, so that's why he can't see us. Still got no engine noise, I'm afraid. Wargaming really screwed the sound up on these replays. It's only on the replays. During the battle the sound was fine, but it's in the replay that you can't get the sound at all. Okay, he's just got the top. Oh, missed it with the first shot, but he's been spotted. So he's stalking his prey. Now that 36 Pak 40, that's got the 75mm gun, and it's quite deadly. It will pen your armour. There he is. Oh, he's looking this way. First shot hits. He can do as much damage as that guy does. Can't get the gun depression, but he kills him with his third round. He took a round from the Type 90, the B1, and that, remember, is a bot. His gun comes to bear. Nice hit. He's also being fired on by a Type 91.
Enemy armor is hit.
One more to kill.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Yes!
They're knocked out.
5 kills. Now, one of the enemy, a Type 91's managed to make it over there, but there's also a Type 91, that was the one that was firing on him, so he's decided to pull back up the hill. In fact, he's using that tree, and it's only the corner of the tree that's actually providing the camo for him, and it does actually, it's quite a big extension of the camo. It uses the bush mechanic on the targets, but he's got his stop gun, and there's only one enemy left. Potentially he's got the high caliber. The last remaining enemy is a Vesper the Wasp. It's a tier 3 German Arty with a 105mm gun. It's based on the Panzer II, but obviously with the 105 FH18. The same gun that you'll find actually on the Fifi. But of course it's got a much longer reload time. Now he's stalking his prey. I think he's actually headed towards the copse because he thinks it might be in there, and it's probably better to get to the back of the map and then work your way over to the east. The Panzer IIIe didn't find anyone in the woods to the east, so he's now changed his course and is making his way over to the west side of the map. Now the Vesper doesn't have much power. It's fairly slow, but it could be that he's made his way over here. Yes, there he is. Oh, he's looking this way. Tries to shoot us, but he fails. And there's your kill. And that's 7 kills to win the game. So 3 games in the T40. Let's have a look at the end of battle results and we'll see exactly how well he did. Well, in the first game, he actually managed to get an ace tanker. He got a demolition expert for blowing up one of the enemy tanks. If I remember correctly, that was the Type 91. I think it was one of the Type 91s. And he also got an arsonist because he set light to an enemy tank and watched it burn, as well as a duelist, a fire for effect, a bruiser medal, and he ended up by getting a high caliber and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills, high caliber for doing the most damage. And his win rate from this battle was 12,675, which is super unicum and a lot more, but then he was up against quite a lot of bots in a reduced numbers game. Now this battle took place on the 11th of October. If we look at the team scores, we can see, yes, top of the table, 2,292 hit points of damage, the highest number of kills, 8, and the highest base XP, 962, and he fired 34 shots with 26 direct hits, 23 penetrations. Most of his damage was done at fairly close range. He managed to come out with 73,433 credits profit and 2,886 XP. Let's have a look at the next battle and we'll see how he did in that one. Well, that was also an ace tanker in the T40. This time round he got a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 6. He also got a high caliber in that game and a top gun, despite the fact that he actually got 10 kills, and his win rate from the battle was 16,473, so a much better game in terms of win rate earning than the last one. If we look at the team scores, we can see this time round he did 2,585 hit points of damage, the highest number of kills, and the highest base XP, and this time round his base XP was over 1,000, in fact 1,204. He fired 65 rounds this time, 30 direct hits, 28 penetrations. He did have a bit of trouble with his long range shooting, missing some of the shots on targets that were running away from him. 2,585 hit points, of which 1,584 were at more than 300 meters, so much more of the damage was done at long range. He earned 25,553 credits from this one, got 25 bonds for completing a mission, and took away 1,806 experience points. So less on the credits, less on the experience points, but a much better result overall in terms of win 8. So let's have a look at the third battle. And that was also an ace tanker, high caliber and top gun. So he's done it 3 times in a row. And you can see on the dates, if I go back one, you can see these 2 games were actually on the 13th of October. And if I go back again, yes, you can see 2 hours apart on these replays. But he's consistent because look, this time he got 16,616 on the XP. If you look at the previous one, 16,473. So he's actually scored more on Redshire than he did on the Mines map. Much better result, but he actually ended up with only 7 kills on this battle, whereas on the previous one he got 10. If we look at the team score, we can see 2,279 hit points of damage. He managed to get 7 kills and 965, so less XP but a higher win 8. Isn't that weird? And less kills as well. And if we look at the details, we can see 35 shots fired, 26 direct hits, 23 penetrations. He was getting a bit more accuracy, wasn't firing so wildly. 2,279 overall, but 1,433. So he was doing some long range shooting in this game, but he did take more shots in this game, but some of them bounced. He earned 24,573 credits, which is less than the previous battle, and 1,447 XP, which again is less, but it still says that he's got a higher win 8. So he's getting becoming a better player every time he plays. It's just he's actually getting less damage to get that higher result. So 3 incredibly consistent battles, you might say. He is improving as a player, although albeit that in this battle he ended up with 10 kills, and if this had been a tier 5 tank destroyer he would have had a Pulse medal out of it. But in this game all he gets is a high caliber and a top gun. So thanks very much ProvoBob for sending these in. I hope you enjoyed this kind of T40 tank fest. It's actually quite an interesting that you do see the general improvement of someone over a period of just 2 days. Because remember, the first battle was on the 11th of October, and the remaining 2 were actually on the 13th of October. And to get that big improvement over a short period of time is obviously he's playing this tank quite a lot, and he's getting quite a bit of enjoyment out of it. But I must admit, he is playing against bots a lot of the time, and I'd be curious to know if he actually gets the same sort of result if he plays against live players. Might be slightly different, but it's certainly very, very consistent, I must admit. So if you enjoyed these replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, and yes, I am still producing videos, even though I said I wouldn't, but I am going through them slowly, and if I produce less, I suppose I can continue to do it. If I produce too many, it'll literally drive me out of my brain. So yes, it's probably easier just to do a few and make them good. Thanks for watching.